Good morning. Welcome to episode 258 of Daily Blend. You know, looking at the date, today is actually Showa Day in Japan. It's a national holiday, but it also marks the beginning of the Golden Week holidays, which is such an exciting time for everyone, isn't it?
本当にお休みに入った人も多いし、街も少しそわそわしてる感じだね。でもそんなお休み中も経済の動きは止まらないからね。今日はちょっと硬派な経済ニュースからスタートだよね。
You're right. We never truly switch off. So, let's talk about the Bank of Japan. They've decided to keep the benchmark rate steady at 0.75% for the third time in a row.
へえ、金利を据え置いたんだ。ニュースでよく聞くけど、このベンチマークレートって結局どういう意味なの？
Good question. It's basically the primary interest rate set by a central bank. Think of it as the master rate that influences all other interest rates for businesses and families. The BOJ is doing this because they are worried about inflationary pressure.
インフレの圧力か。最近何を買っても少しずつ高くなってるもんね。それって物価が上がってしまう勢いのことだよね。
Exactly. It's the economic force that pushes prices up. Because of the situation in the Middle East, energy costs are rising, and that adds to the pressure. Interestingly, they did revise their inflation forecast upward to 2.8% for 2026.
なるほど。リバイスアップワードっていうのは予想値を上方に修正した。つまり前より高い数字に書き直したってことだね。
Spot on. They had to adjust the projection because the reality is changing. It's all part of their monetary policy, the actions they take to manage money in the country to keep things stable.
なるほどね。景気を支えたいけど物価高も抑えなきゃいけない。舵取りが本当に難しそうだね。
It really is a delicate balance. Speaking of global tension, let's move to how this is affecting energy. Japan is actually shifting its strategy for oil imports.
確かにエネルギーの安定供給ってすごく心配だよね。ニュースによるとアメリカからの原油を増やしているんだって？
Yes, they are actively trying to diversify their sources. To diversify simply means to increase the variety of things you use, in this case, sources of oil, so you aren't stuck with just one.
なるほど。リスクを分散するってことだね。でも今まで以上にたくさんのタンカーが来てるの？
It's a huge shift. The number of tankers bound for Japan from the US has quadrupled in just 1 month. Bound for is a common way to say you are traveling towards a specific destination.
へえ、4倍になったんだ。バウンド4は飛行機の案内とかでもよく聞くね。それだけ日本も危機感を持ってエネルギーセキュリティを確保しようとしてるんだね。
Precisely. Energy security is about making sure we always have enough fuel at a fair price. The government is being very proactive here.
プロアクティブってただ待つんじゃなくて自分から先回りして動くことだよね。
Perfect definition. They didn't wait for a crisis. They started moving tankers now to stabilize supply.
いやー、やっぱり先を見越した行動って大事だね。さて、そろそろ今日の表現をおさらいしようか。
Let's do it. First, the benchmark rate. It's the main interest rate set by the bank.
ベンチマークレート。つまり金融の基準となる金利のことだね。
Next, inflationary pressure. The force that makes prices climb higher.
インフレの圧力。物価を押し上げる力のことね。
Then, to revise upward, changing a forecast to a higher number.
to revise upward。予想値を上方修正するっていう意味だね。
Moving on, to diversify, increasing the variety of what you have.
to diversify。多様化する、リスクを分散させるっていうことだね。
Then, to be bound for, traveling towards a destination.
to be bound for。行きのへ向かっているだね。
And finally, proactive, taking control by acting before a problem happens.
プロアクティブ。先回りした、主導的な行動だね。今日もすごく勉強になった。